So the story begins with the Junior World Championship of 2007, where we see the hero of this drama, Ligon, who is currently 13 years old. Here the final match of the tennis tournament is going on. Ligon is playing very well and is very close to winning the finals. We see his younger brother Listen, who is helping Ligon in other things. When the last round is going on, Ligon scores a lot of points, and it takes only 1 point to win. He scores, but the tennis racket falls from the opponent's hand and is about to hit Listen. When Lee sees this, he saves Listen but gets a serious injury to his hand. Ligon starts telling us, "I wish I had not gone to save Listen that day, but I can't do anything except think this because the past cannot be changed. I tried a lot to forget this bad memory of mine, but I never could." Then we are shown the present scene. We see Ligon in the plane. In the same plane, his mom, dad, and his brother Listen are also there. Ligon's wine runs out, so he comes to get the wine. There we see the female lead of the drama, whose name is Kyung-ju. She understands from the way Ligon talks that his condition is not good. Due to some of his bad memories, his mental condition is not good. He is in depression. He has lost his self-confidence. The air hostess sees Ligon's class reunion invitation card and asks him if he will go. Ligon says, "I am just thinking about going so that I can meet my first love." Kyung-ju thinks to herself, "If I can meet a boy like me, he won't like her feelingless." Right. Asking in this, of course, she will refuse. When Kyung-ju drinks wine, a mark appears on her lips, so Ligon starts looking at her. Kyung-ju says, "What happened? Do you want to tell me something?" Ligon says, "I have been looking at you for a long time." Hearing this, Kyung-ju says, "I already have a boyfriend." Then Ligon tells her that she has wine on her face and is about to arrive. He also gives her a tissue and says, "This is what I was trying to tell you. I was not hitting on you." Then, due to some problem, the plane starts moving here and there. Ligon accidentally pushes Kyung-ju's lips with his thumb. This causes her front tooth to get broken. Ligon apologizes to her and says that he will compensate her. Then Kyung-ju tells him that she had got a false tooth fitted. The one that had fallen out is not broken. The plane starts shaking a lot. Ligon starts falling, but instead of saving Ligon, Kyung-ju saves her laptop because it has very important data stored in it. When Kyung-ju comes in front of him, Ligon remembers a little girl who saved his life many years ago. When she grabs his hand and goes to pick him up, his hand starts hurting. Kyung-ju gets worried that he might get badly hurt. Then Ligon says, "I'm fine, you can go." Before leaving, Kyung-ju leaves her business card there. She leaves and says, "If you get hurt because of me, then contact me." Then we are shown a scene from the past. Ligon is sleeping at his grandmother's house. He wakes up after hearing his mom and dad's voices. They are telling his grandmother that they have already shifted all their things to Australia. They wanted the team to train under Australian coaches who are the best in the world. They never thought that things would turn out like this. They have already paid the money for the training. Ligon's grandmother says, "Whatever, but how can you guys leave him here? He is still a small child." Ligon's mom says, "It's not like we don't want him with us. If he comes to Australia with us, he will not like seeing Listen training, so keep him with you for a few years." Hearing all this, Ligon wears his medal and packs his clothes. When his mom and dad are going by taxi with Listen, Ligon comes running behind them and says, "Please take me with you." His mom and dad see him running, but do not stop. Listen keeps running. He falls down and his medal goes into the water. He is thinking about how to take out the medal from the water. Meanwhile, he also falls inside the water. When his eyes open, there is a girl in front of him who saved him. She asks him if he's okay. Now back to the present. When the plane lands in Korea, Ligon's dad makes Ligon wear Listen's clothes and tells him to cover his face with a mask. When Ligon comes out with all the stuff, Listen's fans surround him from all sides, and one child even garlands him with flowers, which makes us understand that Listen has now become a very famous tennis player. But then everyone realizes that it is not Listen, it is someone else. When they see Listen going in the car, they go to him and start asking a lot of questions. Listen starts going near the car with all the stuff, but he collides with Kyung-ju, causing all the luggage to fall down. Ligon apologizes to her and picks up his luggage. Then the kid comes and says, "I want my garland back." So he returns the garland to Ligon. He puts it inside the car, but before he can sit, the driver starts the car and drives away, leaving Ligon behind. Listen's dad asks him, "You have been a professional athlete for many years. Do you still feel nervous in front of the camera?" Listen says yes. His mom says Lee Gun is of no use, he couldn't handle the reporters even for a while. His dad says, you two keep saying no. What is his fault in this? That's when people notice that Lee Gun is not in the car. Her dad messages her to take a taxi home and pay the taxi driver with Listen's credit card. When Kyung-ju is sitting in the taxi, she looks at Lee Gun. When she goes, Lee Gun hides his face, and she leaves from there. After that, we see Kyung-ju giving a presentation. She says, this mouse is number 107. 3 months ago, it got an electric shock while trying to bring food. Even if we feed it delicious food or make its surroundings comfortable, it still keeps getting indigested. Everyone has a bad memory. The memory of a serious accident that caused physical harm, sometimes because of something said by family members. Harsh words become bad memories, or the moment when people left you whom you loved so much. Once a bad memory is formed, it turns into an irreversible trauma. Bad memories are painful and upsetting. And what is bitter is, what if we could erase those memories forever? For example, if we have a bad memory eraser, then we see Ligon who comes home not by taxi but by bus, then his mom gives him a change of clothes. When Ligon is in his room, his mom comes to get kimchi. Ligon says, why did you put a kimchi refrigerator in my room? His mom says, this room was already a kimchi storage room. It was you who shifted here. When Ligon comes out to eat, his dad asks him, why do you always wear black clothes? There are many other colors besides this. Why don't you try them? Ligon always apologizes for wearing black clothes, on hearing which his mom says, why do you keep apologizing for everything? You can say something else, Ligon says, forgive me for this. Then his mom says, you will not improve. His mom has prepared Listen's favorite food, but there is nothing for Ligon. Her mother puts food on a plate with her own hands and gives it to Listen but not to Ligon. Ligon tells us that my mom and dad always care for Listen and love her very much. They give, but I have no value in this house. They all don't think about me at all. Even there is a dog in our house whose value is more than me. If Lee Gun starts harassing the dog, he bites it. Then we see Kanju in the hospital. The director of the hospital says, your presentation was very good. You must know that tomorrow the minister is also going to attend our school presentation, so you will have to give the same presentation in front of him as today. Kanju says, don't worry. I will handle everything well. After the director leaves, a doctor comes to talk to Kanju, whom Kyung-ju wants to date. While talking to that doctor, Kanju's tooth falls out. Seeing Kanju like this, he gives up all his hobbies. Kang-ju quickly comes to the dentist and gets her teeth fixed while Professor Han is planning to go to dinner with some doctors at night. When Kyung-ju comes there and says that no one will go anywhere, she tells all the doctors what work they have to do for tomorrow's presentation, so they all go to do the work. Professor Han says, you are an expert in playing the band in a good mood. How can you be so cold-hearted being a psychiatrist? Ho Kang-ju says, what have I done? I just want there to be no mistakes in tomorrow's presentation. Professor Han asks if she has brought all the important documents from the UK. Kyung-ju says yes, but when she opens the luggage, there are clothes in it instead of documents, which makes her understand that her luggage was exchanged at the airport. Kanju sees a tag in that luggage which has the passenger's number, so she calls him, but the line is said to be busy because Ligon is talking to his friend Gu Bang on the call. Ligon asks, why did you call me during my work time? And Gu Bang says, I am very frustrated while teaching elementary school kids. I invite you to the class reunion. So you must have met, so you are going. Ligon says that she has not decided yet. Then Gu Bang says that at the reunion your first love is also going to come, so you should go there and meet your first love. Even if you confess your feelings, why would you like a boy like me? Gu Bang says that you are very frustrated and lack self-confidence. See, self-confidence is very important to get success in love and career. That is why your confidence increases. Ligon says, you said it right, but you forgot that an extra character can never be equal to the lead character. Ligon stops the car in front of Big Picture Agency and starts going inside. Then the security guard tells him that you are here, but if you can't park the car, then remove it from here. Then in the next scene, we see him in the bathroom. There is an advertisement poster of Listen, from which we understand that Lee Sun works under Big Picture Agency and Listen. Listen is the manager. Ligon doesn't like seeing that poster, so he scratches Listen's eyes with a pen. When he comes out, a girl stops him and says, you are that boy, the legendary tennis genius. Ligon says, if you are talking about Listen, then it is not me. Then the girl says, you are Listen, right? The tennis player. Hearing this, he is surprised and says with a smile, yes. I am the one. So that girl, she says, I am a big fan of yours. I started playing tennis just by watching your footage. Here we come to know the name of the girl, which is Cha Seon. Cha Seon says, have you started playing tennis again? You are the first Korean who won the World Championship medal. Can you show me that medal? Ligon says that I have lost that medal. Then the CEO of the agency, Mr. Hong, comes there and takes Chasen away. At the same time, Nin comes there and tells Ligon to go and get him coffee. When Ligon comes to get coffee, he gets a call from Kanju. Kyungju tells him that our luggage has been exchanged. So Ligon says, yes, I know, I got a call from the airport. Kanju says, if it is so, then why didn't you reply to so many of my calls and messages? Then Ligon says, I will send your luggage this week. You messaged me your address, and after saying this, he disconnects the phone. This makes Kanju very angry. When he comes to give Listen coffee, Mr. Hong throws a document and says rudely to Listen, Hango, make copies of it and bring it to me. Ligang starts talking to Chasen for a while. Mr. Hong starts getting angry at Ligang without any fault and insults him a lot. Lee Sin sees everything, but he doesn't say anything to Mr. Hung. It is said that all the people in the office start talking about Ligon and start criticizing him a lot. Hearing all this, Ligon starts getting a headache and his right hand starts hurting a lot, so he quickly comes out of the agency and starts going to the hospital. Then we see Kanju, who leaves a lot of voice messages for Ligon, but not a single response comes, which makes her very worried because without those important documents, she will not be able to give the presentation. After some time, a nurse tells Kanju that a patient has come who has a lot of pain in his hand. This is a very old patient of Professor Han, but at the moment he is not in the hospital, so you will have to see that patient. When she goes to that patient, he says, Doctor, I am having a lot of pain in my hand. Please give me some painkillers. We come to know that the patient is Ligon. Kyung-ju is quite surprised to see him because she recognizes him and realizes he is the same boy she met on the plane. And this is where episode 1 ends. So guys, how did you like this video? Do tell me through likes, dislikes, and comments. If you subscribe to the channel to see the explanation in the next episodes, then I'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye-bye.